Amid the heightened tensions, Trump has made it clear he is in no hurry to wrap up the ongoing conflict with Iran, saying he will not set any timeline for ending the war. Speaking on Thursday, Trump stressed that his priority is securing what he called a great deal rather than rushing into an agreement. Now, when asked how long he's willing to wait for a long-term peace settlement, Trump responded bluntly, "Don't rush me." He also claimed that while Iran may have modestly built up its weapons during the recent ceasefire, the U.S. military has the capability to neutralize those assets within a day if required.
It's been 8 weeks that the U.S. now has been involved with Iran. You had initially said it would be 4 to 6 weeks.
Well, I hope that, but I also took a little break. I gave them a break. And remember this, I want to make the best deal. I don't want to put that kind of a timetable on it, but it'll go pretty quickly. And we'll have the Strait opened up. Now, right now, we have it closed. We have total control of the Strait.
On the war with Iran, how long are you willing to wait until you get a unified response?
Don't rush me, Jeff. But their Navy is gone, their Air Force is gone, their anti-aircraft is gone, all of their anti-aircraft machinery is gone. Maybe they loaded up a little bit during the 2-week hiatus, but we'll knock that out in about 1 day if they did.
Meanwhile, Trump has ruled out the use of nuclear weapons in the ongoing conflict with Iran, signaling a limit to escalation from Washington. Now, speaking at the White House, Trump said there is no need for such extreme measures, insisting the U.S. has already decimated Iran through conventional military power.
Sir, would you use a nuclear weapon against Iran? You posted on Truth Social a few weeks ago.
We don't need it. Why do I need it? Why would a stupid question like that be asked?
Why
would I use a nuclear weapon when we've totally, in a very conventional way, decimated them without it? No, I wouldn't use it. A nuclear weapon should never be allowed to be used by anybody.
And at the same time, the U.S. president has issued a sharp military directive ordering the U.S. Navy to shoot and kill any Iranian boats found laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz. He said American minesweepers are now operating at a tripled-up level to secure the critical shipping route. Now, the warning comes as tensions escalate after Iran showcased its control over the strait, releasing footage of commandos boarding a cargo vessel following the collapse of recent peace talks.
President Donald Trump on Thursday said he has ordered the U.S. Navy to, quote, shoot and kill any Iranian boats laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz. But he failed to mention other means Iran has used to block shipping, such as speedboats, missiles, and drones. Trump's Truth Social post comes after Iran flaunted its tightened grip over the strait, releasing video of its commandos storming a huge cargo ship after recent peace talks broke down. Since the U.S. and Israel launched the war, Iran has effectively blocked the strait to ships apart from its own. Amid diplomatic efforts to restart peace negotiations, a senior Iranian source told Reuters on Thursday that Iran might consider attending a meeting in Pakistan, but only if the U.S. blockade is lifted and seized Iranian ships are released. Trump, meanwhile, said it was Washington that was in total control of the strait, which he described as sealed up tight until such time as Iran is able to make a deal. The U.S. blockade has not, however, halted Iran's own use of the strait, according to data analytics firm Vortexa. On Tuesday, Trump backed off threats to resume attacks on Iran as the ceasefire neared its end, but he refused to lift the blockade. There has been no formal extension of the ceasefire.
Meanwhile, Iran has signaled it still retains massive naval capability, using swarms of small, fast boats to seize 2 container ships near the Strait of Hormuz. Now, state television footage showed armed personnel boarding vessels in the strategic waterway. Remember, the move challenges claims that U.S. forces have neutralized Iran's maritime threat and highlights the growing difficulty of securing and reopening one of the world's most critical shipping lanes.
Iranian TV aired video on Thursday showing a small boat speeding through the water carrying soldiers who boarded 2 container ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Tehran's ability to use swarms of small, fast boats in the strait could undermine suggestions U.S. forces have disabled its naval threat. And this strategy reveals the challenges of reopening one of the world's most important oil export routes. On April 13th, U.S. President Donald Trump said in a social media post that, quote, Iran's navy is laying at the bottom of the sea, completely obliterated 158 ships. But he noted, quote, what we have not hit are their small number of what they call fast attack ships, because we did not consider them much of a threat. Warning, if any of these ships come anywhere close to our blockade, they will be immediately eliminated. Maritime security specialists estimate Iran had hundreds, if not thousands, of these boats before the war, often hidden in coastal tunnels, naval bases, or among civilian vessels. Such boats might carry heavy machine guns, rocket launchers, and in some cases, anti-ship missiles. They may not fare well against U.S. naval ships, but commercial vessels are usually unarmed. A senior Iranian security official told Reuters that the fast boats now serve as the, quote, backbone of Iran's naval strategy, able to deploy rapidly as part of its, quote, asymmetrical war against the enemy.
Well, Israel has sharply intensified its stance, with Defence Minister Israel Katz saying the country is awaiting a green light from the United States to resume military action against Iran. He warned that any renewed offensive would be different and deadly, even threatening to target Iran's supreme leadership.
ישראל ערוכה לחידוש המלחמה מול איראן. צה"ל ערוך בהגנה ובהתקפה ומטרות מסומנות. ממתינים לאור ירוק מארצות הברית, בראש ובראשונה כדי להשלים את חיסול שושלת חמינאי, יוזם תוכנית ההשמדה נגד ישראל, ואת מחליפי המחליפים של מנהיגות משטר הטרור האיראני. ובנוסף, להחזיר את איראן לעידן החושך והאבן.
And despite such strong warnings, senior Iranian leaders have projected a strong message of unity as regional tensions continue to rise following violence involving Israel and Iran-backed groups. Now, President Masoud Pezeshkian said there is no divide between hardliners and moderates, calling all Iranians revolutionary and urging alignment under Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei. Now, Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi echoed the sentiment, saying Iran's military and diplomatic efforts are operating in complete coordination, describing them as two fronts of the same war. Meanwhile, Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bakir Kalibaf reinforced the message, rejecting political divisions and vowing a collective response to what Iran calls external aggression. And the ongoing Iran conflict is raising serious concerns about U.S. military readiness, with officials warning that the Pentagon's rapid deployment of weapons to West Asia could weaken its ability to counter rivals like China and Russia. Now, since the war began, the U.S. has expended massive quantities of advanced munitions, around 1,100 long-range cruise missiles, over 1,000 Tomahawk missiles, and more than 1,200 Patriot interceptors, each costing over $4 million. Now, ground-based systems like the ATACMS have also been heavily used, leaving stockpiles depleted. Now, in total, the conflict is estimated to have cost between $28 billion and $35 billion. That's nearly $1 billion a day as cost for the United States. Now, to sustain operations, the Pentagon has diverted weapons from bases in Asia and Europe, raising alarms about preparedness in those regions. Now, the war has also exposed a deeper issue, that is heavy reliance on costly missiles and limited production capacity. Now, as Senator Jack Reed warned, rebuilding these stockpiles at current production rates could take years, forcing tough choices for how and where the United States maintains its global military edge.